if you and I want a greater level of peace, if you and I want this world to be different, let's choose to be different. Let's choose to show up differently. Let's choose to lay down light. I'm going to share a framework called P.E.A.C.E, an architecture to ignited leadership. And P stands for presence, not for projection, not performance, not the old style of Putin leadership. Those are 3 P's. That's making me laugh. You know, Putin leadership is do what I say because I told you to. That's what it sounds like. And by the way, when you're thinking of leadership, it's not just in our businesses. If you're a parent, you're a leader. If you're a friend, you're a leader. If you're in a family, you're a leader. A leadership, it's innate in all of us. So, you know, we're affecting our teams and our partners. Leadership, it's an energy, it's a frequency that we're emanating to our children, to our husbands. They're not listening to our words. They're sensing, they're perceiving us. They're reading our nervous system. How charged are we? How triggered are we? What's this story? How are we being? Because that's what really shifts and really helps to close the space when there's distance or a charge or there's a confusion in a family, in your business, in your lives. Because children, they don't become what we're telling them. They become what we are. They become who we are. And that's not just our children as well. That's also in our businesses, our teams. So the question isn't, how am I showing up better? Or how are you showing up better? The question is, what am I transmitting right now? Not in an esoteric way. What am I transmitting? What does it feel like to be on a Zoom call with you or with me? Are you eye rolling? Is it a tense? Is there resistance? Who knows what it feels like to jump on a Zoom or to walk into a room and you can feel the resistance. You can feel the density. You can feel the frustration or the judgment. That's what we're speaking of today. What energy, what quality, Tony would call it state, what state of being am I transmitting? That's leadership. So that's the P. Okay, P for peace. E is for the embrace, embracing what is. Because peace in life, it's not the absence of chaos. It's not the absence of chaos or confusion or frustration, or it's not the absence of loss or devastation. It's actually holding a ground and holding a center in the midst of chaos, in the midst of a challenge, without being utterly and totally consumed by it. It's catching ourselves, guys. Everything that I'm sharing right now, it's all about catching ourselves in real time, in this moment. The moment that you become awake in the midst of like, what the frick? Life is happening, the volume's turned up. You catch yourself. You catch yourself that none of this is about being perfect. Embracing what is means being connected or the container of the totality of life. Because life contains beauty, life contains pain, life contains loss, life contains celebration, life contains making it happen and success in a way of what your perception of that is. Life contains betrayal. And so E is for the embrace of the totality of life, no matter what it looks like. A is for accountability. And accountability means going first. It's like our own internal, if I'm going to lead a situation, if I'm going to step into a Zoom call or a meeting, or if I'm going to step into my home, my family, whatever it looks like, it means tidying up our own internal mess first, going first. That's what leadership actually means. Leaning in first, taking responsibility and saying, hey, I missed. I just caught like a glimpse of myself and I've been behaving absurdly. I can't even imagine what it felt like to be across from me, honey. I'm sorry. Or you're in work and you're in business and, you know, you have a big event and the same freaking dropout happens again. Not the first time, not the second time, but the third time. And it's the frustration of like, what the frick? Why did you do that? You did this. That's what the blame, the old way looks like. By the way, everything I'm saying, this is not about perfection. It's about catching ourselves. But what's such freedom, you guys, is a leader, a human being who's willing to go first. Do you know what? I see myself and I missed. I didn't reach out to Diane and I didn't tell her whatever. Or I didn't communicate to Matt. Taking responsibility, not your part, just sheerly taking responsibility and putting that on the table. And when we do that in our lives, in our businesses, in our friendships, in our families, it creates a reciprocity. It's what's not expected. What's expected in the world that we live today is blame. Go on social media, demonization. It's really quite absurd how we as a human race relate to one another. We post something and it's like, oh, that's bullshit. I don't like it. That's stupid. It's this, it's that. What on earth? Social media, it's a currency. It's a platform. But yet all of a sudden, the currency is about demonization and tearing people down and division. So once again, if you and I want a greater level of peace, if you and I want this world to be different, let's choose to be different. Let's choose to show up differently. Let's choose to lay down light. Let's choose to catch ourselves. If we're being harsh or screaming at somebody or you slam the frickin' door and you catch yourself, okay, hey, that was a little dramatic. Catch a beat. Walk back in. Babe, I'm really sorry. Okay, that's the A. P.E.A.C. is for conscious responses. Once again, we can all become so conditioned to be triggered, so fragile and being triggered. We're meant to be triggered. Triggers are for us, to shaken us awake, to show us our stuff. So C is for conscious responses, catching our emotional reactions, catching ourselves, getting curious. Two questions I always ask myself. I'll look at a situation and say, am I contributing to harmony right now? Or am I contributing to the schism? Think of a situation in your relationship, in your family, or at work. Think of a space and place that maybe there's a place where there's a confusion, there's a disruption, there's a frustration. Now ask yourself, are you contributing to the confusion? Are you contributing to the division, the distance? Are you adding more discord? Are you perpetuating the drama? Are you trouble talking? Or are you really looking to cultivating harmony, cultivating clarity, offering love, understanding, perspective? If you have a pen and paper, you can even write it down right now. And be specific of how you are contributing to the confusion or the schism in this situation. And if you really are contributing to harmony, how? In this situation, raise your hand if you are contributing to harmony. If you are bringing clarity and love and connectedness. Raise your hand if you are contributing to the schism. If you have both hands up, that means you're contributing to the schism. Because if it's harmony, you're freaking laying down harmony and you're committed. So if you got both hands up, say, hey, I'm bullshitting myself right now. I can only say it because I've done it. I've rationalized. I've justified in situations and thought it was them. That's the two-handed. That's like, well, yeah, hey, I'm doing all right. But it's that ambiguous state that's confusing. Kindness is clarity. So that's conscious responding. Okay, we're going on to the next. E for the end of peace. E is for extended outward in service. And so once we gain greater clarity, once we're as a leader, we're choosing to lean in and go first, to respond consciously, to catch our charges and catching ourselves, not adding to the schism. You know what we get to do? We get to be a blessing. It's everything that Tony teaches. We get to guide others. We have the privilege to mentor others. We get to be an ear and listen to people and to empower people. And a leader doesn't always per se mean that you're up front. I think it's really cool as a leader to set people up to win, to backdoor a conversation and provide context. And listen, this is if I was in this situation, this is what I would do, but I totally trust in you. I know that you'll find yourself in it, but this is my 2 cents. To empower others on your team. to help people to shine and to be the fullest expression of who they are. If you're listening to this, that's what your soul is longing for. You're not here just for you. I'm not here just for me. I'm not here because I have this all mastered. I'm here because I'm a human being like you, and I catch myself. Sometimes I do that. Sometimes I do rationalize and think, but then I catch my BS. I tidy it up. That's what an ignited leader looks like. And that's what peace looks like. If we want more kindness, we want more clarity, we want more love, we want more peace. Hey, you're looking at him and her. It's me. And it's you choosing to recognize and become awake and aware of what am I transmitting? Just notice, how am I being in this situation? And by the way, when you go and you see your husband or your wife or your kids or a friend, it's easier with friends because we have less expectations. I can relate to that. It's a space where you have the most expectations of another, in business or your team or a coworker, your children. How am I being? Isn't it so absurd that we're up in everybody else's business of how they're being? Yet we miss ourselves, guys. We miss ourselves. And this is a practice. And I'm excited for you because just keep these, I think it's 5 total, in front of you. And you can just start to become awake and aware. Peace is such a beautiful notion because it's a real possibility. In this moment is when you and I can choose differently. And it's when you and I can lean in. It's when you and I can tidy up our messes and take responsibility. And it's when you and I can transmit something. That something is love. Whether you believe in God, whatever you want to call it, this source, this universe, our creation needs a vessel. That vessel is you. That vessel is me. And that's how we really become a living blessing to ourselves and to the world around us. Thank you for allowing me to share what really has been my North Star of how I look to lead in my home and in business. And what's so beautiful about it is it becomes less about you. We get to be like the sun that's shining and shining on others and not telling them, but being a reflection of what it looks like and feels like. To be love in action, I really believe that's what we're all called to do.